What's up, Yins? This week on Car Dad Bill, we have a 2025 Mazda 3S. This is the hatchback 2.5 liter front wheel drive. Comes in an amazing red color. All the Mazda reds. This one's the metallic soul red. It's very beautiful. This is basically a commuter vehicle. Let's go for a ride and talk about it. All right, in the land of gingerbread and luxury items and luxury cars and sports cars and electric cars and all these different vehicles out there, out of the darkness comes the Mazda 3 front-wheel drive 2.5S hatchback. And what a welcome character to the party this is. Some would think, oh, it's just a boring Mazda 3, and some of you might be right. But in the soul red metallic paint color with the black wheels, the black interior, it's actually a sharp vehicle. And the hatchback design is like a teardrop shape, super clean, sporty looking. And guys, it's actually a ton of fun to drive. I'm a fan of the economy vehicles, the commuter vehicles, the cars that just, they don't have a wow factor necessarily, but they also do everything super clean and super well. This is one of those cars, and it's always been one of those cars. Mazda 3s have always been a reliable commuter, basic mode of transportation. Nothing super duper fancy. Sure, you can get them in a Grand Sport, Grand Touring model. Sure, you can get all-wheel drive in some of them. Sure, you can get turbos. But like this one here that we have the example of right now, if you're looking for something that can commute, you can carry some stuff. I'll show you guys the trunk space later. My first impressions of this are awesome. Nothing wrong with it. Now let's see how it did for the week. All right, guys, outside, the Mazda 3 hatchback, LED headlights, LED turn signals, black wheels, nice trim design, nice front end, teardrop shape. I like how Mazda 3s have the smooth back panel that goes all the way around, turn signals in the mirrors, moonroof up top. Around back we have dual exhaust pipes, LED taillights, LED turn signals, really sharp looking hatchback. And really, it's just exactly what you need for a commuter vehicle. Not a whole lot to talk about out here. The clean design, clean door panels, the black wheels. It just looks nice. It's a little bit more updated than the previous models, but not crazy. Let's go inside and talk about it. I love doing these car reviews for you guys. Love driving these cars around, spending a week with them, spending a week with my family, seeing if they can manage everything that we have, managing, my commutes and where I need to go. Is it comfortable? Is it not? All those things. Real life stuff for real life people that are looking for these real life cars. We're not test driving McLarens and Lamborghinis and Ferraris here. We're test driving Mazdas and Toyotas and Hondas and Audis and regular cars. And I appreciate if you guys can subscribe, tell your friends. Thanks for watching the video. Every bit counts. See you guys next time. Inside the Mazda 3, pretty clean design. Stitching on the side of the doors, some fake aluminum trim, gloss black, vents, digital display in the middle, rotaries on the outside edges, screen up top here that's controlled by this down here, dedicated HVAC buttons for your dual climate control, vents underneath the dash up here. Everything kind of comes together. Simple design. It works well. Seats are leather, rear seats, decent size. We'll go back there in a second. But really, inside here, this is what controls the main dash up top there. It scrolls back and forth with the scroll knob. You can do Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You have your parking brake. You have your volume control on this side. You have your sport button over here, and then you can actually shift it into manual as well on the gear selector. Cup holders and a storage area up front. Glove box slides back and up, holds a lot of stuff. You have charging ports down there as well, 2 charging ports, USB-Cs. Steering wheel is a very nice, elegant design. Cruise control on this side, your volume and whatnot on this side, phone controls, all that good stuff. The info, you can switch between the info that you want up top here. As you can see, 28.9 CDB real MPG. Let's talk about it. Back seats, decent room. Kids didn't complain. That seat's moved back considerably. This seat's where I would sit, and I can get my feet under there and sit in here fairly comfortably. Same door design as in the front. Static seat belts down there for the kiddos. Easy to maneuver and get into the seats. No charging back here. Base model, remember. Out back, underneath the Mazda logo, is the button to lift the trunk. It's not power, no power. You can lock it from back here. And here's your storage area. I have my sweatshirt in there. I was able to fit Joey's goalie bag in here. His sticks had to go, in the back seat. This can come out if you really don't want it in here to have a little bit more vertical space, but it's not a whole lot more. Decent trunk area. The seats fold down 60-40. So you have some room. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, facts and figures on the Mazda 3. 2025 Mazda 3 hatch, front wheel drive, 2.5S, Soul Red crystal metallic paint, black interior, 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine that makes 191 horsepower, 186 pound-feet of torque. Plenty of power. This car scoots along really, really nicely, especially on the highway. Manners are really nice. Front wheel drive, LED lighting all the way around. The MSRP on this is $27,690. Adding in the red paint and the moonroof brings you to $29,605. So it's under 30 grand, fairly well loaded, front wheel drive, commuter vehicle, hatchback. It makes sense to me. This is more of what the public needs, is something that's affordable, that does the job, that's reliable, and that's kind of fun to drive at the same time. They say 30 miles per gallon average. My CDB real MPG is 28.9. That's, not far off of what their average is. If I drove a little bit more on the highway, I could probably get, closer to that 30, but I have a lead foot and I don't drive on the highway too often. Let's get out there and talk about the good and the bad. All right, guys, it has not been a crazy busy week at the car wash. It's been rainy, kind of dreary all week, but this Mazda 3 front wheel drive hatchback is definitely something to consider if you need something affordable that you can get back and forth with. If you have kids, 1 or 2 kids, you could definitely use this. I have 3 of my own, and we were able to have all of our stuff in it last night, all of our hockey bags. Of course, you had to do a little bit of rear seat storage, but nothing too bad. The good and the bad list, right? So the good and the bad list, let's start with the bad. The sound system in this thing is basic. It's not a Bose, it's not a Boston acoustic, it's not a Macintosh, it's nothing like that. It's just a basic sound system, and it sounds that way. Not a whole lot of bass response, decent mid and highs, but not something for someone that loves music. You want to upgrade the sound system if you possibly can to a Bose or whatever Mazda would offer for their premium sound system. No fog lights up front, and I know that the trim and that the front fascia doesn't really allow for fog lights, but I would still like to have fog lights on a vehicle like this. It would add to your visibility at night and whatnot, and it would just look better, I think, personally. The safety nannies, again, all these new cars have all these safety nannies. If you get near the edge of the road, if you're not looking right, all this stuff impedes in your driving. It's supposed to help you. I usually turn most of that stuff off. You know, you can't really turn off all of them all the time, but I try to get it down to the minimal that's not annoying the crap out of me while I'm driving around. Last thing is getting in and out of this. I'm 42, I'll be 43 this year, and I'm a fairly fit guy, I think. You know, I'm pretty active. All my kids are doing sports and things, and I'm active in that. But getting in and out of this thing is a task. You kind of fall into it, and you have to pick yourself up out of it. That's because it's a regular car. I mean, it's on the ground. It drives that way. It feels that way. And it's just one of those things, you know, to notice. You know, if you're an older person, middle-aged to older person, this is definitely going to be, you know, something you notice getting in and out of it. That's just the way it is. On to the good list. It's a basic commuter, and I think that's a good thing. It's affordable, it drives well, it looks nice, it's sporty, it fills all the boxes, checks all the boxes as far as what you would need on a daily commute, or even just a regular car for your family. I mean, this is definitely up there with like the Honda Civics and the Toyota Corollas and things. It's definitely cool like that. It's fun to drive, second thing on the good list. It's absolutely fun to drive. Direct steering, very, very balanced in the turns. It's definitely, you know, you notice that too while you're driving. It's just very, very fun to drive, direct, and responsive. It's pretty comfortable too. That's the next thing on my list. It's actually, the seats are pretty supportive, pretty comfortable. I didn't find any issues with comfort while I was driving around this week. My kids said the front seats were comfortable. The kids said the back seats were comfortable. They had enough leg room. So it's definitely a comfortable commuter vehicle. And then the last thing on the good list is the MSRP. You have a front-wheel drive sedan, oh, not sedan, front-wheel drive hatchback that's good looking, fun to drive, decent miles per gallon, and it's a good value, you know, under 30 grand. I think that's a win for Mazda. I think that's a win for people that need stuff like this. And that's really where it ends up. There's nothing else to talk about. It's a general vehicle that gets you from point A to point B. And that's what most people are looking for. They're looking for that vehicle that they can rely on, that's going to get them around, get them decent fuel mileage, can hold some stuff. It does all those things. It's Car Dad Bill this week. Real cars, real people, for real life. If you can, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.